Section 4. One who becomes a slave to his practices, who is enveloped in this veil, will reject and oppose any practice that is contrary to his practices. For example, to a person who urinates in the kneeling position observes another performing the same function standing, he immediately opposes it. He would even call him a kafir. He is all the time ignorant of the reason behind the victim's mode of urinating in a standing position, and without knowing whether it is prohibited or not, he still names the victim a kafir. He has heard or known that urinating in a standing position is prohibited. He himself urinates kneeling. This is so of his community. It is on this basis that he passes judgment and judges the victim as a kafir. The evil thoughts that were otherwise suppressed in his mind gets activated. He thus transforms himself into a terrorist. It is the same case as regards many other practices. In humans, many important matters are judged on the basis of our practices. The right and wrong are judged with this as our benchmark. The attire, beard, headgear and all other practices are judged in this manner. A person being a true servant is also judged in the same manner. In our areas we are aware that there are weddings for coconut trees, ceremonies for the piercing of one's ears, circumcision ceremony, and even the marriage ceremony falls into this category. If some person employs an amplifier for the ceremony to pierce the ears to run for 7 days, another will do so 8 days. If not, the neighbors will consider it inferior and irreligious. Their voicing may even make one mentally unsound, but we are unconcerned and forced not to desist from traditions that rules the roost in our community. I observe these people as those who have become slaves to their traditional practices and are like children playing hide and seek in their day-to-day lives. It is in the same vein that people enveloped by the veil of book knowledge consider in Islam the religion of deen being only prayers. Muslims in different parts of the world belonging to various ethnic groups do perform their prayers in a variety of ways, and there exists amongst them multifarious traditional practices. Knowing all these, they proclaim that their traditional practices in the performance of prayers are the only authentic method. They do not even waste an atom of thought in this aspect. The lives of such people can only be compared to that of children in huts and none other. Section 5. In the case of people whose mind becomes a slave to their own strong desires, do reject and oppose anything that falsifies or is in contrast to their own desires when they hear or observe it. The child, while in the process of observance of their own mother and father judging them as fools or misers, is the work of the primary stages of the veil. People who have thus got entangled even by 50% giving a hearing to the discourses of good knowledge or the norms of the learned would be really amazing. This is a major psychological disease. There are many types in it. I am in this instance referring to the Quran's quotation that reads, whoever considers the desires of his mind. All other desires that stand in the way of the attainment of the desires to obtain Allah's grace are all enveloped by the veil of the mindset. Let us now delve into what is necessary. Men, regardless of their ethnicity, country or religion, do not bring up their children with a view to understand and accept truth or tawhid, nor are they interested in their child attaining fullness of life as they fail to educate them in such manner. Every family's desire is to lead a life far from poverty, with a secure job, and in the eyes of others gain honor and recognition. The fullness of life in this type of mankind is having enormous wealth, high recognition and honor, and a luxurious life. It is with this desire that they bring up their children. None bring up their children with the ambition that they must know the truth within themselves regardless of the difficulties their children encounter in this quest. This is because all the parents view their fullness of life to mean a life of luxury and wealth. I have said this before. It is to achieve the luxury of life that book knowledge, education and other arts and crafts are learned. The aim of life is to obtain degrees, fame, honor and favor in this world. In a growing child, their behavior too grows along with physical growth. One of the aspects of this behavior is his ambition to achieve something that others have not or never would achieve. This is because the child's natural tendency is to obtain praise from others. This they could achieve by attraction, and this prompts him to have such ambitions. As none have instilled into him the norms, modes or type of attraction, he does so according to his likes, in his own way and style, with the sole objective to gain attraction regardless of it being wrong or right. If his fellow students pass in 6 subjects, he likes to pass with 8 subjects. If his companion becomes a lawyer, he likes to become a judge. If his friend builds a 3-roomed house, he would like to build a 5-roomed one. If one performs a duet for 5 days, he likes to stand on his head for 8 days. If he hears of a person robbing a bank and escaping with 100,000 rupees, he would like to rob 2 banks and have a booty of 400,000 rupees. Hence, regardless of it being good or evil, one views of performing a feat that is best and living a life of fame and fortune as his ambition. This infatuation would make him attain his objective in life is his paramount belief. To live in honor and comfort in society, money or wealth is essential. To earn money or gain wealth regardless of it being right or wrong, one has to attract others' attention, act in a role, that would earn him money and possess exceptional achievement or records. He does not have the power to evaluate as to the state he would be pushed into in the course of trying to be wealthy. He is a firm belief that his methods are the most genuine and would definitely make him successful in earning money and wealth. This is because what is imprinted in his mind is to live for others' praise. His pathway, whether right or wrong, his objective of achieving exceptional standards and the conditions that assist him achieving it all come together to formulate the mind's desire for achieving his objective. He has thus elevated his mind's desire to a position that could be compared to his temple or becomes his sole priority. Due to his mind's desire being very subtle, cunning, guileful abilities come to him along with it. This type of developmental knowledge is a gift of nature to mankind. Being ignorant of this nature's gifts, some youths misuse it. This is the result of these students being misguided by their mentors. The educationists have not taken the trouble to explain and illustrate to these young minds the genuine and authentic facts of life. Holmes, a renowned psychologist, has stated that the basis of honorable growth of a child is to make him be praised by others for his actions. To do this, we have to educate him to infer this knowledge and create a desire in him to act such. This aspect of child's growth as to how, into what branch of study and on what basis a child has to be educated by the public is something that is fully ignored by its parents. Even if they think of this, their thoughts do not come near the truth. Whatever country or village we take into consideration, it would have a minority of learned and knowledgeable citizens, majority of them would be wanting in knowledge and illiterate. Hence, to gain prestige, praise and honor from them, we have to act according to their level of knowledge. If we in our efforts to express an exceptional achievement, even if it is authentic and genuine, to the major section of the population will not honor or praise him for it. It may even earn dishonor and a bad name. The nabis, rasuls, Wallace and the learned dignitaries experienced such punishments and dishonor in the course of their preaching. A few of them were assassinated for the same actions. Hence, in this world, where majorities are in want of knowledge, the person who would obtain their praise, honor and prestige will not be a harbinger of truth but preposterously a fraud. If he is not a pretender, people will not accept him nor can he satisfy them. If ordinary folks exclude or ostracize a person, he would either be an imbecile or a fool, or a person of great learning. None can doubt that one who pretends and attracts others' attention will be in a position to gain praise from the ordinary folks. Hence, even in matters of normal interests, a person imbued with a desire for praise to be praised, as he now assumes his mind's desire as God, his accommodating authentic and genuine facts would be unthinkable. He would only act to his mind's desire. We have in our younger days read and learned from books about Emman and Islam. We accepted these discourses as truthful. In a similar fashion we have learned from our parents, teachers and members of the public the very same discourses. Hence, book knowledge and hearsay seems the same. Hence, we harbor no doubts about it. Further, graduates, ulamas and the learned wrote the books we perused. These very same personages have given expressions of the identical nature. Thus we will not harbor any doubts as our mindset has already been transformed to such thinking previously. In whatever form our development of knowledge grows, so does our mindset. We have learnt and heard of Rasuls, Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, Miraj. We also know that Rasul, Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, was a human being like us. Yet, we do not desire to make a journey or Miraj like the Prophet. This is because we have read and have been told that such feats are beyond our capabilities, nor did we hear any other person repeating such experiences. Hence it is not surprising that such desires do not arise within ourselves. Section 6. The very short explanations given above confirm the fact that book knowledge, traditional practices and mind's desire are the primary handcuff or veils or seals that envelopes man and prevents him seeking truth or being ignorant of the same. This is because these people never had an opportunity nor did they have the desire to do the same. In short, they say, as we have been born to parents who were pure mu'mins for generations, a new Iman or Islam or improved practices are not necessary. Why should we do any analysis or research when we have been all these days followed the Quran, Hathees, Anbiyas and their descendants? Thus it is not necessary for us to research in their conclusions. It is this stand that is responsible for our downfall and for the truth to have been buried and our foolhardiness. The very same Quran we recite says in 70 places for us to pray, and in more than 300 places impeaches us to analyze the Quranic ayahs. Further, the Creator, who stated that He has given a complete and full religion, has also gifted every newborn child with a thinking brain and feeling heart and mind. He also creates an environment that makes thinking compulsory. If we need not think, why have organs of thinking? In Akira we are being pushed to hellfire, we alone. God. I am not a sinner, my parents, my teachers, my community and my guides are the ones who transformed me to this state. The God would point to us and say, didn't I tell you to think? I have given you the organs for thinking. I have created an environment for thinking. Did you think and decide? If asked such queries, what would be your answer? It is a fact that when we embark on a project and according to our knowledge and conscience complete it and then subsequently find it is evil and wrong, then we say to God, "Oh Allah, I thought with the mind you gave and acted accordingly, therefore pardon me." This plea could be placed before Allah as we have the right to do so. The most compassionate and merciful Allah would surely assist such pleas. Hence, until our knowledge accepts same, it is essential to think and contemplate on every subject. Surah 17:verse 36. And pursue not that of which thou hast no knowledge, for every act of hearing or of seeing or of feeling in the heart will be inquired into on the day of reckoning. To evaluate and discover the truth, our mind necessarily must be free and independent. We who have to obtain the truth and use our thoughts to do so, being fully enveloped by the veils of book knowledge, mind's desires and traditions are the primary blockade. We have to rid of these three veils and be free to think freely and use our common sense in quest of truth. We should be determined to perform such task. Foolhardiness and blind faith are the qualities that are fraudulent and false even if it brings peace. But bold research, analysis and elucidation of knowledge that is feasible or struggle in itself, and the peace thus obtained is real and permanent. We cannot discover the true path or a sirat without engaging in the struggle to elucidate truth and knowledge. The desire to get at the truth, boldness is a necessary requisite. Only this will take us along the correct, authentic and true path of a sirat. The end result would be the fulfillment, purpose of being born, of our objective of obtaining peace and tranquility. Foolish beliefs and blind rituals will never ever give us peace. Hathees. The people of Emman missed knowledge. Hence, wherever they see it, it belongs to them. This Hathees was quoted before. There are many amazing truths emerging from this Hathees. A necessary forewarning too seems hidden within it. What is the knowledge that the people of Emman want? When was this missed? Who are the people of Emman who missed the knowledge? Who are the people of Emman who will regain the knowledge? Give your deep thoughts to this and allied problems. Do not skip it over. If the sweetness for the ear is melodious sound, pleasurable sight for the eye is good scenery, the sweetness for the nose is good smell, sweetness of touch, spraysom, is experience, pleasures of the soul, ruh, is the seeking of knowledge. These matters you must be compulsorily aware of. Necessary matters, depending on its urgency if prevented from being thought over in a just manner, then the person who prevents the same is a preposterous man who robs the man's right of using his common sense and is worse than a pickpocket. In a similar vein, necessary matters of importance are thought out in a judicious and logical manner with the necessary supporting evidences. The kitabs that prevent such actions could be compared to thieves and weapons of the Satan. We will, inshallah, prove this in a later chapter. Be patient. The power of thinking is to some extent present in all types of creations. Yet Inshan's power of thinking is very special. He is able to understand matters that even Malaks cannot comprehend. Isn't Inshan Allah's representative, Khalifa? Yet matters of thought and methods of thinking are multifarious. Hence let us think of a matter that needs thought, and do so in a set manner of thinking and to only the required level. If the matter undertaken is still at a distance, boldly continue without tiring. Summary. Number 01. All children are born innocent and good. Its parents, kith and kin and neighbors. Association with the child makes or transforms him into bad one, possessing evil habits and illiterate. Number 02. The newborn child, when genuinely guided and shown the correct path, that is to say, if the parents, relations and education are all able to indicate the authentic truth to him, the child will definitely grow up to be good, full of knowledge, and would in time to come would be in a position to direct others to in the correct path. Number 03. There are 3 important reasons that makes a man transforms himself into a good or evil person. They are A. Habits, practice and traditions. B. Book knowledge and hearsay. C. Mindset, desires of one's mind. Number 04. Habits, practice and traditions, book knowledge and the desires of the mind are all extremely difficult veils that envelope and engulf the man. Number 05. A person thus engulfed and covered over by these 3 veils is unable to obtain any truth. Number 06. If one desires to elucidate truth and live according to it, then it is compulsory that he rids himself of these 3 veils. Number 07. Association with evil will make one wayward, and association with good people will show him the correct path. This must be imprinted in one's mind. Number 08. If you progress towards the truth, arrogance, desire for money and fame and fortune, honor and positions must all be set aside and begin to analyze with a free, independent and clear mind. Number 09. Strength of the mind, independent and free thought are necessary to discover truth and obtain success by uniting with the truth. Chapter 3. The Mind and Differences in Education. Man's mind, soul, has been divided into 7 sections by the Arafians, who are neighbors and spiritualists. They are a Ama'ara, a Luvama, a Mulima, a Muthmana, a Ralaya, a Marliya, and a Kamalaya. They have even described these 7 divisions. Quran and Hathees accepts them. It is beyond the scope of this book to describe each one of these stage, martaba, in detail, as it will run into volumes. Further, the common man will not be in a position to understand or will find it very complex in his understanding. Like scholars on psychology or experts in hypnotism and mesmerism explaining their own shop, our trying to explain all these amongst persons with moderate knowledge too will be a complex and difficult one. With this in view, I have collected all of them and summarized it in such a manner that it could be comprehended by all in a shortened form. Those who cannot understand it, will not be able to understand the aim of birth, the truth behind the primary aims of prayers, worship, or the true description and the true meaning of Tawhid. Hence this necessary knowledge must first be easily understood and comprehended. My beloved youthful brothers, the soul, mind and heart are all one and the same in man. This has got many names, but we will confine ourselves to 2 of its stages. Of these 2, one is the external mind and the other internal mind. The internal mind cannot be described and has unimaginable powers. This indescribable mind possessing great powers will not believe in any matter until it becomes aware of it, understands it and judges on its authenticity. Karamath, Mu'jizath and other great amazing feats are all work of the internal mind. Further Ilham, Kasbu, Ilm-Laduni, Ru'ayah and other such subtle knowledge and scenarios are also the work of the internal mind. Hypnotism, mesmerism and the like sciences and truthful dreams, excluding false dreams, are all the work of the internal mind. In addition, subjects like a wasilat, that is captivating the intricate creations and charms, are also the work of the internal mind. Every one of these states is bounded in different stages of the internal mind. We will deal with it in a different place. Knowledge, which is common to both internal and external minds, is divided into 4 types. These are called ilmul-iqeen, inul-iqeen, haqqul-iqeen, and kamalul-iqeen or jinn. They are called thus in the Arabic language. Ilmul-iqeen deals with inferences obtained from evidences in book knowledge, belief and iman. This education is of the external mind. Inul-iqeen is the knowledge obtained by seeing or observation and belief, iman, and is the primary stage of the education of the internal mind. The third haqqul-iqeen is the knowledge gathered by experience and belief, iman. This is also of the internal mind. It is more correct to say experience means knowledge through realization or experimental wisdom. The fourth is wijthan or kamalul-iqeen, which is a special form of education or knowledge, kasbu, alham, wa'i, given by God to the internal mind. Its description cannot be made fit for you to comprehend, hence we would delay the same. Summary. First, man's knowledge is of 4 kinds. A. Ilmul-iqeen, the belief, loyalty, iman that is originated by book knowledge. It belongs to the external mind. B. Inul-iqeen, it is the knowledge, belief, loyalty and iman that originated from observation of authentic supporting evidences and objects. C. Haqqul-iqeen, it is the belief, loyalty and iman inferred from sensing or self-experienced knowledge. This is also known as knowledge through realization or experimental wisdom. This is known as a nuputhi in Tamil. D. Wijthan, this is a special gift given by Allah. This can only be understood by nabis, awliyas and a few anbiyas or learned dignitaries. It cannot be comprehended by the common man. Even among awliyas, only a few, Kuthub and Kamil, can understand this while others remain ignorant of it. Wa'i, kasbu and ilham are all of this kind. They do have differences and subtleties. These descriptions are not necessary for the common man, Sufis of the primary stages or those who are treading God's path. Second, the knowledge specific to the internal mind is inul-iqeen and haqqul-iqeen. Third, the special knowledge of God given to man's internal mind is wijthan, kamalul-iqeen. The above summary must be repeatedly read and comprehended. Education, knowledge and iman is owned by the internal mind. This initial stage is by observation, sensory organs. That is to say, it is the analysis and authenticity of the book knowledge and clearance of doubts arising from it with the assistance of supporting evidences. The truth that emerges as a result of the latter exercise, trust the truth, know the truth and obtain iman of it, would be the exact description of this kind. A tariqat is also this. There could be slight differences in positions. If this knowledge of observation is false, and has no supportive evidence, then the matter in question will not be accepted by the internal mind. This is its outstanding quality. If this internal mind is free from all the veils, not governed by our external senses, and begins to act independent and free, we would then be able to find the truth of any matter. Men's common sense and analysis too are connected to this veil-free inner mind. Whatever is the aim of man, his internal mind would succeed in attaining the fullness of the objective. Whether the aim is right or wrong, attainment of fullness is certain. The present-day scientists are a good example of this process. If the inner mind functions without any connections from the external mind in a free and independent environment, it will reach knowledge that are much above the common sense and attain knowledge of heavenly abode. It is in this free state that the inner mind obtains the complete truth from the Quran and Hathees. Imman's truth, firm belief in the state of a wali are all the work of the inner mind acting freely. It is in this state of free movement that the inner mind brings forth the Yaqeen, the knowledge of experience, and Imman emerges. When this experience gets fully imprinted in the internal mind, knowledge of God comes to reside in it. This is called a wijd. We can only refer to this as a gift of God. This internal mind having such powerful properties loses it when it becomes connected to the external mind. Further, discordant knowledge or wamu that always resides in the external mind invades the internal mind. This wamu is equivalent to a virulent disease that prevents the full function of the inner mind. This makes the inner mind inactive, and hence would not be able to experience or only partially experience its diagnostic properties. Whenever the external mind gets connected to the inner mind, the person in such state will be ruled over by the external mind by inactivating the working of the inner mind. He would thus be enslaved by wamu, the discordant ideas and knowledge. Such person, even if he is possessed of honor and high education in the matters concerning Quran, Hathees and common sense, will find no place nor will he give credence to it. Thus, this type of a person who remain enslaved by the external senses and governed by the external forces will not be in a position to activate his common sense that belongs to the inner mind. His work and actions would not be the response of the common sense. This boils down to saying in this instant his inner mind's ability cannot be used by him. These people will judge any matter with this background of wamu. They will always maintain that their ideas are authentic or correct and will not be able to discriminate between truth and falsehood. When the inner mind begins to function freely and independently, all ideas it receives is called khlas or unpolluted or pure neth. That is neth that has not been affected by the external mind in any way is khlas or the thoughts of khlas. Any amal that is performed with a concentrated mind, whether right or wrong, will surely provide benefits. This is not Allah's anger or Allah's gift but nature's normal function. This is well known to those who do research in psychology. The training for the inner mind to function independently are of many varieties and kinds, but the most important of them is prayers. Those who are ignorant of this underlying process are of the opinion that even if our khlas is not in the state of mind concentration, it would still provide some benefit. This would mean, even though it is spoken that the inner mind must be free of any influence while performing amals, it is ignored in practice. Islam has formulated many duties for Nabi. Nabi means to singularize the man's inner mind to enable it to create Yaqeen, the education, and to achieve its special capability. This is not known to many and even to some teachers. We will get to know of this later with supporting evidences. It is very genuine and clear that Allah has through Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam introduced worship of the Nabi and for all kinds so that we will be able to singularize and make our inner minds free to function on its own in order to attain heavenly abode. Many of us to understand this fact have no ability, waste our time in the washing of hands, using the miswak and practicing many other rituals, amals, in the quest of obtaining benefits, but fail in it. None can doubt the fact if we are able to free our inner mind from the external mind and perform amals, regardless of whether it is wrong or right, he would obtain benefits depending on the quality of his amal he has performed. while judiciously following all compulsory practices, at the same time indulging in interest on money-lending, haram, zina, and other forbidden evil practices, is equivalent to living in darkness. He would become unbalanced and struggle only because the inner mind did not function on the premises of truth. It is true that man does perform the external aspects of the amal in a very genuine way, but if his inner mind is not free and independent and function in concentration, then all amals is dead as dodo. It is only a corpse obtaining no benefits whatsoever. What is worse is that the man in that state is totally ignorant of this and is deceiving himself by believing that his amals are going to reap the benefits in Akhira. If this inner mind, which has immeasurable potential, stands alone and functions freely and recites Ayathin as Sirathul Mustaqim or asks it, that man would surely be transformed into a true servant and would be guided in the correct path. Further, his kalb that was enveloped by the three veils would be ridden off him, and thus freed kalb is now in a position to act freely and discover the correct path. Allah's gift cannot be denied by any external forces or persons, and it is very transparent and free. We by our very own ignorance are in a state of not knowing how to obtain it. Hathees. By prayers many would suffer from discomfort and pain, except this there is no benefit. There are similar Hathees of this nature, but this would suffice for now. Assalamu alaikum. Thank you.